So I'm kind of curious too. I mean, the sober living is a huge pivot industry-wise from the music industry.
Yeah, well, first,
how do you even get started with something like that?
Well, we did the Ridge production thing.
Okay.
After Hyper Crush, I filmed all that, Complex Con and all that stuff. Thanks to Aaron, my friend, and Tall. But the sober living was something I always wanted to do ever since I saw it. I saw what they did at Liberty House, blew my fucking mind. I couldn't believe it. They were communicating daily on a level I had never seen. They were holding each other accountable daily on a level I had never seen, and also listening to each other and seeing each other and caring about each other. And coming from the family I came from, that was fucking everything. And I just always thought I would love to do this one day, to create a community like this where the people that aren't willing to get honest, they fall off. It's like they fall off, and you end up with like just the best. We're like mining for gold, and there's like 2 gold nuggets right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, these people came into my life because of TikTok or whatever, Instagram or the internet, and now they're fucking. How much sober time you got? Where the fuck's 7? Oh, 2 years, Blue.
I got almost 4.
4 years. I mean, and this kid was a fucking nightmare. He drank vape juice. He tried to kill. He tried to jump up. Bro, we had to 5150 him 2 times. That kid right there.
Wow.
I mean, the how hard it was to bring him to where he is. I could never have done it without the structure and the community that is Graceland. It's like the miracles that happen in that house. Once you create the structure that we have. I mean, we have like I have people on the reflections table writing 50,000 word essays, and they can't talk to anyone until they're finished. That could take them up to a week. That means they have to wake up and just write. And it's fucking gnarly. If you can get through that, you feel like you grow like a year. You grow like what would take a whole year in the normal life. Like, I feel like people are growing so fast in that house because they're being held accountable, and they're like walking through consequences, which is something we don't do as alcoholics.
Yeah.
When we're in our active addiction, we don't have consequences. We don't give a fuck. We just avoid everything and everyone. We run when shit gets hard. And when you see these kids walk through all that stuff in the house in like a safe environment, it's just like, it's so beautiful. It's so rad. I mean, yeah, we have these meetings on Thursdays that are just so cool. But I don't know. We bought a house. That's how it started.
Okay.
Buy a house, a big ass fucking mansion.
Damn. Sounds expensive.
Yeah, well, my stepmom bought it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and I
got the financing coming in.
I pay her rent. Well, no, I mean, we pay a good amount of rent,
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't have been able to have this house if it wasn't for the support from my family. She's basically like an investor, so it's not really. We could have found another investor, but it's always. I personally don't. I don't know. You have different schools of thought. Like Gary Vee's like, don't, disassociate from your parents as soon as possible and do you. I'm like, have as many friends as possible. Equity is like fucking manure, bro. If it's all in one place, it's just a pile of shit. But if you spread it around, grass will grow. So you just spread it around. You know what I'm saying?
After a while, you got a bunch of little shit nuggets at first, but
Wait, why the fuck did I just say that?
You tell me.
Oh,
honestly.
because I'm talking about partnering with my family, right? And allowing them to like invest and like and using all the resources you have. You know what I'm saying? And I have other partners and like, why not? Why not have if your family wants to support you and you have a business plan, run it.
Yep.
I don't know. That's kind of how I think. But
For sure. I mean, hey, if my stepmom's buying me a house for my business, I love you, stepmom.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I am honestly forever grateful.
So how do you, I mean, once you got the house, how do you get like your first person in a bed there? I mean, how does that play out?
Oh my God, dude. So hard and like so scary and like, and this structure doesn't work without like 10 people because you have like you have an essay monitor, you have a scribe, you have a chore, everyone has a chore. There's a Dub C work coordinator. He checks the chores. The structure doesn't work unless you have like a good amount of people in the sober living. But bro, I was like going so viral at the time. Like I was growing so fast and nobody had ever seen anyone open a sober living in real time on social media. So we were just we got people, you know, Caleb, Abby, Blue, some of the first people that ever came to the house, Jose, Carter. And there's been probably almost like 400 or even more. I mean, that's how many people have came to the house and left. 30 graduated out of all those people.
Wow.
That's how hard it is, you know. But that's also says something about and out of those 30, only half are even still sober. I mean, it's kind of crazy. But
addiction's tough, dude.
It's so hard.
A lot of people relapse.
They do. But that's okay. I mean, what they learn in this house and how much they grow by applying action in this house, it's going to give them a better shot at staying sober, even if they don't do the year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. So is a year typically like the amount of time that someone stays?
Yeah. Well, no, that's how long it takes to graduate.
Okay.
So it's a year-long program. I mean, give or take, you know, I mean, you could be in there for a lot longer if you're like fucked off. But like, usually we give people graduation dates around a year in.
So that first kind of wave of people, it sounds like they're just reaching out to you off social media.
Yeah, they were.
And saying, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
And that first group, I mean, it must have been pretty intimidating to manage that.
Yeah, so I had a fan, this girl Cassie. She was, you know, 15 when she was at Hypercrush show. She was like one of our biggest fans, and she turned to meth and lost some of her teeth. And I mean, she like looked like a different person, and she reached out wanting help. And she was so we had COVID. This is just, there's so much. I mean, the thing that made it hard was we're on the internet.
Yeah.
And people were like, anonymity, you're a fucking insurance fraud. Like this one lady that didn't like me, fucking Nancy Grace, he knows, he got into a fucking whole argument with her. She like,
I've seen her profile.
She's obsessed with me, obsessed. And she is so driven and so fucking obsessed that she created so much wreckage for me. And she was calling the cops on me, and they were calling the health department on me because we weren't wearing masks in our meetings. Cassie, this fan, was having like seizures in the kitchen, like while we're downstairs doing a podcast. I can't explain to you how hard it was. I don't even know how to begin to explain. Cassie has a seizure. They come, they pick her up, they bring her to the emergency room. She basically gets into a fight with the woman for cutting her shirt off. She's like, and then she leaves the ER. And I'm like, we're trying to help this girl. I go down there. We both have COVID. It's 2 a.m. It's freezing. I'm trying to convince her to come back to the ER. I finally convinced her to go back to the ER. Meanwhile, people are like giving me like 1-star reviews on Google. Like they're banding together to just try to like shut me down. Literally, yeah. People would send me emojis of clocks. Time is running out. Like all I had to see was a clock, and I was like, fuck. I knew what they meant. Free blue. That was a hashtag. This blue right there. Hashtag free blue. That was like a big hashtag going around on TikTok because they thought he was being held against his will.
So why do you think it is that so many people seem to dislike you guys on social media? Because it's very blatant. Because
we were holding him against his will. He didn't want to be there. But look at him now.
Seems like he wants to be here.
It's like people aren't used to tough love. There's all these fucking snowflake enablers out there who don't understand what it means to be a stern father figure, role model. It's not like sunshine and roses all the time. And look at his fucking face. He looks normal now, but back then his face was like this. Every time he was like this, always just like, oh my God, like. And you film that face, and people are like, oh, you're abusing this kid. They just are fucking nuts, bro. They're nuts. These people on the internet are they're crazy. And I would get in like arguments with my wife and post that shit. And then they would like label me, I don't know.
Why post it?
Because it's real and it happened and we got through it. And you can too. Yeah. And it helps more people than it hurts. It helps more people. But I also knew that it was going to come with some judgment and some hate. Which is okay, because if you've ever seen a good movie, the character arc in the main character is what makes you love them so much.
Yep.
Because you're really getting to see their flaws and you're really getting to see them work through them and grow. So I was okay with, I don't know, I guess I just have faith that like, if I'm honest and true and doing the right thing for the right reasons, I will get rewarded in abundance. Because that's like what it says in the Bible.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So right now people hate, but
it's interesting because, I hear you describe it as like the social media and the cameras are this issue, it sounds like, that's impacting the people in the house that are under the roof. But then also on the flip side, it sounds like that's okay if it's helping more people on the outside.
It's hard. This is, I don't know what I can't look to anyone. I can't. No one's ever done this. But if we can raise enough money on TikTok Live for a fucking scholarship, what's wrong with that? That's crazy.
So is the social media your guys' like primary income?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, right before I fucking bottomed out there and I was streaming like 15 hours a day, yeah, we were making a lot of money, but like that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
It's a little cool little money. It's enough to help out with some of the scholarships. Half the people in our house are on partial scholarships. It's rare that someone has money and resources when they're at the point of hitting us up. That's all usually gone, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you think, in a way, it seems like you post a lot on social media, both like between Graceland, your personal profiles. You have people here filming, behind the cameras today,
Yeah.
Do you think, in a way, that you're addicted to social media, maybe?
Oh, 100%. That's why I went to Florida.
Was that like a part of your most recent relapse?
100%. It was bigger. I think it was a bigger part than the CBD, honestly, because it was CBD. But the validation and the having the thousands of people, having them, the hate and the support and the money and talking to people, like, bro, I would be up all night talking to moms who had just lost their kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like talking to them, consoling them, and there's like 10 other people in the room with me they're all helping each other. So it was like in the face of like helping people, making money, validation. It was a fucking perfect cocktail of like me just fucking becoming obsessed and addicted to it. Now I have like structure around it. I have like a fuller day and I have like rules, and I got to be home to see Wolf and my wife. My son's name is Wolf. He just turned 1, and I go there at 5 and I'm there at 11 and I'm there. So I'm sort of not able to stream the way I was, and I won't if it starts to become crazy again. Like, I have people in my life that can pull me up on it.
It just seems so kind of difficult to stay away from when it's so intertwined in what you're doing.
Yeah,
the social media is how you're getting people in bed.
I can't stay away from it.
Yeah.
And if I stay out of the comment section, and it's a creative outlet for me. Honestly, it's I need a creative outlet, and that's all I have.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried to find another creative outlet, or is that just what you're set up?
I draw, and I fucking play music, and I listen to music, and I but my main thing is creating stories and narratives and telling story. That's what I want to do. I've always wanted to be a director above everything. The only reason I even made music was so that maybe I could somehow make a movie at some point. Literally, like, and you see, there's some other people that have done this, but that's what I love. I love editing something, shooting something and editing it together, and you put it out and people have feeling that you make them feel something, right? You touch people.
Yeah.
And my therapist once said, just because you're touching people doesn't necessarily mean it's in a good way. You could be touching. So I'm poking a lot of people's, like, I'm triggering a lot of people because maybe they had someone like that yelled at them the way I was yelling at someone in a video, right? That was really abusive. And they think I'm that person, but I'm not. I'm not abusive. I lose my temper sometimes and I'm not perfect and but I don't give up on people and I lead with love. But when you expose your vulnerabilities, bro, on the internet, these motherfuckers are gonna use it against you if you get big, but I don't give a fuck. I think that's the medicine for a fake ass sea of bullshit online.
For sure.
I think more people should do what I'm doing, because if enough people did it, then we would start to see that, like, oh, we're all flawed, and just because you see someone doing some fucked off shit online doesn't mean they're like a fucked off person, because you wouldn't throw your friend away. But if you see someone doing some crazy shit on the internet, you're gonna throw them away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, who do you like Gary Vee, or like, who's your guy? Joe Rogan?
Fuck, dude. I mean, that's kind of tough.
Anyone like that you like?
I mean, I don't.
Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, Theo Vaughn's funny.
He's great.
Like Theo Vaughn.
If we saw a video of Theo Vaughn yelling at his wife tonight, everyone would have a totally different opinion about him. That's not right. That's fucked up. And that's a problem amongst the entire internet. And we cancel people. We throw people away. It's fucked up. Like, we're in the infant stages of understanding how this phone can affect us and other people and the entire race. I mean, I'm online bottling people in different countries, and I'm telling them about my sober living, and I'm communicating through Google Translate with people in Syria and Israel and Russia, and it's incredible. It's like crazy. We're sort of becoming, it's just a melting pot, right?
Yep.
But let's cut out all the fake bullshit. Just be honest. Just be real. You know what I mean?
Yep. It seems like you spend a good amount of energy on the negative comments you get.
I do too much, bro.
Do you have trouble like avoiding those, or what's?
Well, I don't read any I try not to read any comments, okay? But sometimes I'll post something like last night, and then I'll somehow get into a comment, and I'm like, wait, wow, like that negative comment, like for example, like there's a video where I talk about turning this into a TV show because it's what I really want to do. I think that this would be the best show ever, and it would be
I was going to ask you about that because that's the vibe I'm getting for sure.
It
seems like this should be on like HBO or something.
Yeah, it would be informative. It would be helpful. And then, so I make a little video about someone said, why does this seem like it's becoming a TV show? And I made a video to that comment saying, like, yeah, I think it would be a good TV show. And bro, it's just like, I've always dreamed of exploiting vulnerable people for my own narcissism and gains. 120 likes. How is he the leader? He is clueless. 17 likes.
So what?
It just keeps going with
when you read a comment of someone that says that you're exploiting addicts for content,
right?
What in your head is your response to that?
It's so fucking frustrating. It's like, are you fucking absolutely clueless? They see the cameras. They're choosing to stay in the house.
Yep.
They came to the house from the internet. We're not exploiting them. If anyone doesn't want to be filmed, we don't film them. Evan will tell you, we just don't. We respect everyone. That's what pisses me off, is they're just like, why are they so fucking miserable? It's sad, really. They're fucking miserable.
So you have people in the house that like, let's say have said like, oh, I don't want to be on the camera, and they're just never on camera.
Yeah, we do.
Interesting. And do people just not believe that, or what's the?
They don't care, bro. Like they're miserable. Like you have to understand, like I'm attracting mostly addicts, right? Who probably want to get sober and need to get sober.
Addicts are a very unique demographic. I mean, the majority of people watching the show right now are addicts.
But are they in recovery?
Not a lot of them.
So you must get a lot of hate too.
Oh, I get some comments.
Okay. Dude. See, the reason is because we're meddling in a puddle that's pretty dirty, which is cool. That's what Jesus did, bro.
Yep.
He fucked with the street people and the prostitutes and anyone who wants to help. You got to go, but those are the people that are going to be kind of mean and resentful, and they want to. They need to pull themselves up, and the only way to do that sometimes is by pushing someone else down, so you can get up. That's the purpose of somebody hating on you, because you're above them, in a sense, because they're watching you, so they want to pull themselves up a little bit by bringing you down.
Have you ever posted a video kind of saying that response that you just told me?
I mean, maybe not just like that, but I definitely have posted videos about like, how the comments affect me. And
because it's tough, especially when you're getting a lot of unwarranted hate comments and you're getting, people just commenting negative stuff for likes, especially, which is popular now. It's kind of tough to separate what is valid criticism and what is just bullshit.
As the viewer.
Yeah, as the viewer, and also I think as the creator, it gets tough, and sometimes even I get overly defensive when I get a lot of hate comments, I think everybody does, and I think that's also something that, like, from your end, I think the amount of hate comments it seems like you get, that might happen to you, Like, maybe you do become overly defensive about it.
Oh, my God, bro, I
like,
literally crashed out. Like, that's what they call it on TikTok. Because these people it's called rage baiting. Have you heard of that?
I have. Yes, I know that term.
This is a thing. So I think people are starting to get tuned to this, right? And you know what I think a lot
it's
of
been
this
around
shit,
for a bit, yeah.
But I think a lot of this shit is like a joke.
Okay.
Right? So they might just be fucking
for sure.
They're like, talk shit.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, bro.
Hit my vape, drink an energy drink, go to Rolling Loud. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Talk shit. Fucking, you know what I mean? They're not like real people.
When I see those comments on like TikTok and stuff, I just remember that was me getting high at like 16 on Facebook.
I remember. You know what? I've written some fucking bad comments too that trying to hurt somebody. So I don't know, dude. It's like if you didn't get negative comments, I would be like, oh, this isn't really that big of a podcast.
Yep. Yeah, we get hate.
That's
sure.
good. Right. Congrats, bro.
Thanks.